Hey everyone, Teacher Julie here from teacherjulieonline.com, and I am here today to talk to you about your mock class. In this video, I am going to walk you through the certification for the lower levels, levels 2 and 3. This will be lesson A. If you would like to see my video for lesson B, you can check that out as well. I will try to link it right here, hopefully. So let's get started, but before I do, I want to just quickly go over, you already have learned this hopefully in some of the materials that you have watched and read, but I just want to reiterate the little letters that are in the corner of your lesson slides, just so you understand what those mean. So the first letter that you might see is the letter I. The letter I stands for introduce. When you see that in the corner of your slide, that means you are introducing this to the student for the first time. This may be vocabulary, this may be a verb, this may be phonics, this may be some other skill, a math skill. Okay, so when you see the I, it should be introduced. When you introduce something to the student, remember, this is the first time that they may have heard this English word. So you're going to speak very slowly, pronounce very clearly, and make sure you repeat that word multiple times so the student can really get a grasp for the pronunciation of that word. The next letter you might see, or that you will see, is the letter P. P stands for practice. So this is when the student will be able to practice that new word or that new sentence that you have just introduced to them. So in this slide, you're really working to move from I do to we do. So the student is practicing, you are guiding, but the student is speaking more, is giving more output than the teacher. In the introduce slide, you were really giving a lot of output as the teacher. The student was listening and repeating. But in the practice slides, we really want the student to begin producing more on their own. Also on the practice slide, usually there might be an opportunity for the student to do some kind of computer skill, whether that be drag and drop, or circle, or underline, things like that. So you're also demonstrating those skills to the student who may have never seen anything like that before. The next letter you will see is A. A stands for apply or application. Now you are moving to mostly having the student do it on their own independently. So by this point, you will have introduced the new concept, the new word, the new phrase. They will have practiced it with you still guiding, and by the time they get to the apply slide, they should be able to do it mostly independently. Keep in mind, these are beginning English students, so they're not going to be able to do things completely on their own, especially if they're a lower level. You are still going to have to guide and help as needed, but by the time they get to apply, they should be starting to understand it on their own, especially because you have been repeating it over and over and over in the slides before that. The next letter you might see is E. E stands for extension. On the extension slides, it's again just more opportunity for the student to practice what they have just learned. It's your opportunity to draw connections to that student, so you might want to bring in something from their life into this part of the lesson. So for example, if you are teaching the word ball, you can say, "Do you have a ball? Do you play football?" Yes. Things like that. So it's your chance to sort of connect with the student and build that rapport a little bit more as you are teaching. The last letter you will see is the letter D. You will actually not see D in your mock lesson, but you will in your regular VIPKid lessons. D stands for demonstrate, and this is the one where the student has the most control. Now that they have been introduced to the word or the phrase, they have practiced it, they have applied it, that you have extended on it and connected with them on it. Now it's time for them to demonstrate what they know. D slide comes usually at the end of the lesson and maybe even at the end of the unit, so that they have had plenty of time to work on these skills. So when you are doing your mock class, you will see the letters I, P, A, and E. So be sure that you pay attention to what it says up in the corner so you know what you are doing. It gives you those tips on what you should expect from the student. I think it's important for you to know why you're teaching these things. And when you see these things in your regular lessons, there will be a lot more guiding questions and things that you can ask the student, and it's very helpful. So pay attention to those tips. And also your mock class teacher, the VIPKid teacher that you will be working with, is going to be looking for those and is going to be looking to make sure that you are paying attention. I don't know what corner it's going to be in. Paying attention to those tips and applying them as you're doing your mock class. So let's get started. I'm going to walk through the slides for the lower level lesson A. Okay, I will not be able to show the slides to you, so it will be helpful if you have them open on your computer or your phone or whatever you're using to watch this, and I will walk through the slides and I will show you how I would teach it, how I do teach it. I've taught this lesson many times, and hopefully that will help you prepare for your lesson. So let's get started. When you begin your lesson, you will be on the opening slide. I see Mike and Meg, and they're playing soccer, and you have the title of the slide on there, title of the lesson on there. This is the welcome slide. So this is where you will be introducing yourself. The student will introduce themselves to you, and you will build that rapport with the student. Remember, this is a lower level younger student, or it's an adult pretending to be like a 5 or 6 year old student. Lower level students have very little English, if any. They might know what is your name, they might know how old are you, and they might know how are you. Those are the 3 pretty safe questions. They might not know those. So just go for it. So this is how I would teach the first slide. Open camera. Hello. Hi. You're being really animated right here and smiling really big to welcome your student. They might be seeing an American for the first time. Okay, hello. My name is Teacher Julie. Teacher Julie. What is your name? Cup your ear. This is TPR for listening. You're encouraging them to talk back to you. They're telling you their name, hopefully. You're listening. Elsa! Hi, Elsa! My name is Elsa. You're encouraging them to repeat back. My name is Elsa. Good job! Good job! Elsa, how old are you? They may not be able to do this, but that's okay. You can say, 5! I am 5. Get them to repeat back. I am 5. Good job! Good job! Now, I was about to say, are you ready for the lesson? Which that's a big sentence that they may or may not know. Sometimes they'll say, yes, let's go, or something, or they might say, yes, I'm ready. You don't have to ask that. You're really not supposed to use an incidental language as you transition slides. It's a really hard habit to break, I'm going to be honest. But remember, keep it simple, very few words. You can say, are you ready? And you can say, let's go. Okay, so transition to the next slide, which is your reward slide. In the interactive level 2 lessons, the reward is built into the PowerPoint, into the lesson, which is really cool. And it's a drag and drop feature. You may have to show the student how to do this. Now, you can use the built-in reward for your lesson, or you can use a reward of your own. So if you use the built-in reward, you can say something like, Elsa, when you do a good job, you get a toy. And then you might want to have a toy available. Toy! You get a toy. Can you drag and drop? Now, drag and drop gets a little complicated if they don't have, like, you can show your mouse, drag and drop, but a lot of them are using a tablet, so you can use your phone, drag and drop. I have a picture of an iPad. I point because it's up there. that I show them a tablet and I show a little kid using his finger to move, that sometimes helps. You may just have to demonstrate, drag, and drop to them. Or you don't have to use this reward. You can use a reward of your own. Now, this is a reward that I made on my own when I became a teacher. You do not have to make anything like this, but it's a good old standby. Build an ice cream cone. So you can say, when you do a good job, you get ice cream. They really like to lick it. You can talk about colors. Pink, pink, good job. You don't have to make a big fancy reward. You can use the old standby, happy face, adding a tooth. When you do a good job, Elsa, you get a tooth. Yay! That's it, okay? Do your reward and let's move on to the next slide. All right, here we are on the next slide. You will see up in the corner, there's an I, vocabulary. Remember, I means introduce. We are introducing the vocabulary word ball. It's a really good idea to bring out your ball prop. Here we are. Now, I got this at the Dollar Tree about 4 years ago and I use it almost every day. This is a good investment. It came in a pack of 4 different balls. So, what you're wanting them to produce in this slide is the word ball. That's what they're working on. Also want them to circle the ball in the slide. So you will see all your objectives in the corner and down below in the tips. So here we go. Ball. Good. Ball, ball, ball. Yes. Ball. Good job. Shh. Ball. Yes, Elsa. Good job. Notice how I repeated it multiple times. Remember, you want them to pronounce ball. So multiple times, high, low, loud, quiet. Then I'm going to come down to the bottom and underline, she plays with a ball. That's a very long sentence. Remember, you're working on the word ball. Okay, so you want them to repeat. She plays with a ball. Good. Where is the ball? Ball. Can you circle the ball? Circle. Circle the ball. Now, many times the student doesn't know what you mean by circle the ball. You may have to model this. One thing I like to do is draw like a dotted line around the ball. It kind of encourages them to circle the ball. You can draw a picture of a ball on your whiteboard and circle it for them. Just keep working on it until they circle the ball in the picture. Okay? That's what you're trying to get them to do. Repeat the word ball and the sentence. Remember, just repeating. Break up the sentence into smaller chunks for these lower level students. She plays with a ball. 2 parts. And then you might be able to get them to say all 5 words at one time. Circle the ball, and let's move on to the next slide. The next slide is practicing the vocabulary. There's a P in the corner, so we know we're going to practice. For this one, we've got a he and a she. So I would have maybe some he and she dolls, characters. You can use Barbies, you can use stuffed animals, you can use clip art cut out of a boy and a girl. And I'm going to model he and she. So I'll start with he. He plays with a ball. He plays with a ball. Get them to repeat. Repeat the sentence again. He plays with a ball. Good. Good job, Elsa. Go to the next picture. Circle it. It's a little girl. Bring up your little girl doll. She. I always like to show hair. I know girls don't always have long hair. She plays with a ball. Good. Break it apart if they need to. She plays with a ball? Yes, Elsa, high five! Good job! Now, your student or your teacher pretending to be a student might mess up at this point. You might be saying, she plays with a ball, and your student might say, she play with a ball. Be sure to catch that. And you don't have to say, no, 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 no. Just help them get it right. So just repeat it again. She plays. Good. With a ball. Okay? So watch for those mistakes from your mentor that's working with you. Watch for those mistakes because they want to see if you can catch them and correct the pronunciation or correct the sentence of the student. Remember, always be looking at the bottom for the tips. It says that the student is to practice the word ball and practice the sentences. He plays with a ball and she plays with a ball. Before you leave this slide, you're going to practice asking the question and having them answer. This is very difficult sometimes, especially at the beginning. But you want to say, what does she play with? What does she play with? And they might say, ball. You're always getting them to do that full sentence. And you can say, good, yes, she plays with a ball. Okay, then you're going to bring up the boy. Give him the ball. What does, and you're also circling it on the slide, okay, so they can match your prop with what's on the slide. So circle the picture of the boy. What does he play with? He plays with a ball. Yes, good job. This might be a good time to give them their reward. If you're using the interactive reward, you can click on a little gift box on the slide and it will take you immediately to that reward screen. If you are doing one of your own rewards, it's time to give a reward. Good job, Elsa. You get a tooth. Yay! Very good. High fives and thumbs up go a long way too. All right, let's go to the next slide. Dun, 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 dun. Don't do that. Okay, now we've got a soccer ball, a kite, and a basketball, and 3 kids. So this is an interactive slide where they will drag and drop. Again, you might have to model this. This is where they're applying. This has an A for the vocabulary. They are applying their skill. So they are applying the word ball to the different corresponding pictures. So same question. Circle the first little boy. What does he play with? Do a lot of head scratching and chin rubbing. You want them to be dragging that soccer ball down under the boy's foot. And you want them to repeat the sentence, he plays with a ball. You might want to write this sentence down on a whiteboard to help them see it. That's something that I do sometimes, especially if they're having a hard time with it. Then you can ask, ball, circle. I would go ahead and circle the other guy with the ball and say, what does he play with? He plays with a ball. Same thing. You're trying to get them to keep repeating this sentence until they get it. Remember, they're applying it. So you're gradually releasing it to them so they can do it on their own without you so much. A lot of wait time, encouragement. Give them a chance to try the sentence on their own. The sentence is, he plays with the ball. Now, the little middle guy is holding a kite. Totally new word, right? So, but they can tell that it's a kite, not a ball. So they will move the kite into the spot. What does he play with? Then you can say, does he play with a ball? And they would say, no. And you can say, he plays with a kite. And you can demonstrate TPR, a kite. I have a cutout of a kite that I can show. You don't have to have that, I don't think. All right, let's move on to the next slide. I think we got it. The next slide is introduce the verb. We have the verb throw. You can bring back your same ball. You can bring back a different ball. I have a football somewhere. Let's just use, how about a baseball? The baseball. Okay. Throw. Remember, we're getting them to repeat throw multiple times. TPR it. Throw! They really like it when it comes really close to the camera. Throw! Get them to do it back at you. TPR is interactive. It's not just you modeling and them sitting there. Throw. You really want them to throw also. You want them to model your TPR and the pronunciation. That's what helps them connect the word, is putting the action with it. So really get them to throw. Then at the bottom, we've got two pictures. We've got a girl and a bunch of people. So the first one, the girl is throwing her flowers, and it says, she throws. Underline she throws. I like to circle the S, because we really need to point that out, that when we use he, she, it, we add the S at the end and get them to repeat. She throws. Yes, good job. Bring your girl back up. She throws. You can even let the ball go if you want to. She throws, getting them to repeat that sentence multiple times. Circle the next picture. They throw. You can bring up both characters. Somehow get them to throw. They throw. Okay, working on those sentences. Remember, you're speaking slow, you're enunciating so that they are practicing their pronunciation with you. You can give a reward at this point if you want to. Good job, Elsa! Remember, lots of high fives, big smiles throughout. You got this, you got this. Next, we're on practicing the verb, and they are to circle the picture that corresponds with the sentence. Underline the sentence at the bottom and get them to repeat. He throws. Get them to repeat. Maybe circle that S if they're not saying it. If they say he throw, circle the S. He throws. He throws. Which one? He throws. There's 3 pictures up there, and they are to circle the one of the man throwing a football. Okay, so to help them with that, you might make that motion, and they usually get this, so they will circle the picture of the boy throwing the football. That's it for that slide, okay? Good job, Elsa, woohoo! Transitioning to the next slide, this is where they apply throw and throws. This is going to be difficult if they don't understand what we use he, she, or it. We add the S. So at the top you see throw and throws. They have to choose between those and fill in the blanks at the bottom. So what you do is you want to repeat the verbs again. Throw, throws, and then I circle picture 1. She... Okay, so you really want them to try it on their own. They're going to drag and drop. They should drag and drop throws into the blank. But if they don't understand what in the world is going on, which honestly a lot of these younger kids don't understand this part yet. So this is where I like to use my whiteboard and show the different examples. So I might write she and he right here. And then I down here. And I just go ahead and show them. She throws. Underline the S. He throws. Underline the S. I throw. You can practice all 3 of those and then see if they can do it. See if they can drag and drop into the correct places. If not, you just do it for them. Help them out, and then you're getting them to repeat those complete sentences. She throws. I throw. He throws. You can show your dolls again and your ball and practice, practice, practice. Let's move on. Now we've reached the phonics part of the lesson. On this slide, you are introducing the rhyme IP. IP. If I was doing that, I would circle IP and say IP. 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 Good. IP. 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 Get them to repeat that. The short I sound is super hard for these kids. Then you're getting them to match the onset with the rhyme. So you're going to draw a line. Z, ip. Have them do that. Z, ip. Zip. And put them together. Do the next one. Ip. Ip. Rip. Have them do all of them after you. You're introducing, they're repeating. And then it says that they are to circle the different onsets. I would model this first for sure. I would take the word zip and circle the Z and say z, z, and circle it. And then I might even do the next one. Circle the R. Remember, the R makes the sound not r, okay? Circle the R, and see if they can circle the S and the H on the other balls. See if they can do that. That is the objective for this slide. All right, again, we're praising. Good job, Elsa. You are awesome. High five. You might give your reward. You get ice cream. Yay! You might go back to the interactive slide and grab another toy, whatever it is you choose. You want to give maybe 3 rewards during this mock lesson. The last slide that you come to is the free talk slide. It's got an E, which means we're extending. Remember, this is where we can connect with the child and bring those higher level thinking questions in, and they're doing this on their own with your guidance. So I might look at the picture and say, what do you see? This is a question that they're pretty good with. What do you see? If they don't respond, you can say, do you see a ball? Do you see a ball? Circle the ball. You can say that. What do you do with a ball? And model. See if they can remember throw. Throw, because that's what the people in the picture are doing. They're throwing. And you can even do this sentence. I throw. Show your she. She throws. This is really time for you to make up whatever you kind of want on this picture. Kind of gauge what the student can and can't do. If you want to talk about colors, what color is the ball? Yellow. Good job. Good job. Then you will finish that slide. Maybe give one more reward and you are on the goodbye slide. This is where you will say goodbye to your student and leave them with a big giant smile. You say, Elsa, you did a great job today. Yay! Yay! I make a big deal, especially with the younger ones. It's time to say goodbye. Bye, Elsa! And they'll say, bye, teacher! Bye, teacher! I like to make little hearts or whatever you want to do. That is it! You are done with your mock class lesson. The teacher that has been pretending to be the student will then give you some feedback and tell you maybe some things you can improve on, tell you definitely things that you did well, and then a little bit later, I can't remember how long it takes, you will get feedback from VIPKid on what you need to do next. If they say you need to take another mock class, that is totally normal. Don't think that that is something out of the ordinary. Most teachers have to do more than one. I had to do more than one. And I'm wonderful. I mean, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. That was years ago, and I had to do more than one. So it was much more stressful back then. This is nice. This is not really a pass-fail. This is a practice until they think you're ready, but it's not a fail. So if you have to do it again, then, no, I don't like that. If you get to do it again, then we will get together and we will go over your feedback and we will talk about some ways that you can improve for the next time. And you will do it again. It's no big deal. And then you will finish that and be able to open your classes. So that is it. If you made it to the end of this, good job. Good job. Good job. Thank you for watching. I will do another walkthrough with the lower level lesson B, and you can check that out on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that others can hear my awesome wisdom. All right. Thank you and goodbye.